is me, and today we are firing up from the Green Goddess 722 straight to the Orange Steam Queen 4449, and right into today's topic. This is Southern Pacific 449 Productions. Let's roll. Today we will be covering the Southern Pacific 4460, or Forgotten Daylight, but personally I think the name Midnight goes really nice. Anyways, let's begin. Our story begins in the 40s when Southern Pacific was looking to transform and add some new elegance to their famed Daylight. 3 years later, the first GS6 4460 would roll out the Lima shops in July 1943, as well as her 16 sisters who were built July to August of 1943. During the 40s, World War II was at its peak. And so the War Production Board pretty much just restricted what locomotives could and could not be made. So getting to those locomotives was quite a struggle. The Southern Pacific would officially place an order in 42 for 16 brand new GS6 locomotives. But the War Production Board, who then controlled the steam manufacturers, would deny their order. They, though, would decide to redesign them from the GS2 with differences including all-weather cabs, GS4 style tenders, and they had the 260 of 300 psi that her GS2 sisters had. And as stated above, be officially approved, but not before the War Production Board sent 6 of the 14 GS6 locomotives to the power-starved Western Pacific Railroad, who would call them GS64s. Though planned to wear the Daylight colors like her Golden State class sisters, all would end up in a livery of black and silver due to their small size. Since they were built during World War II, they would also earn the nickname War Babies. Now that we got the history of the GS6 covered, let's cover today's locomotive, the star of the show, and that is 4460, who I will be referring to as Midnight. As stated above, she'd be the first of her class and was indeed built July 1943. She would serve her railroad pulling the San Joaquin Daylight and San Jose, San Francisco Peninsula commute. Geez, that's a mouthful. Even after World War II. In 1956, however, she would derail. But do not fear, as she would be repaired. She, though, is not any steamer, though. She is famous for actually quite the sad reason, as she pulled the last ever steam-powered passenger train and be the last operational steamer of the Southern Pacific. Her last run would stretch from Sacramento, California to Sparks, Nevada. She'd run on her own power with only minor diesel assistance after developing a hot box. A heartfelt moment, which I'd like to share very honorably, is when a Boy Scout from the Bay Area played the Taps, a truly fitting sad tune for the funeral of the Midnight. This was staged by the Southern Pacific, and I feel this is the only right way to retire a steam locomotive. So kudos to the Southern Pacific, as that's amazing. Love them for that. The Midnight screams one single message: steam. Though it can outdo diesels, and though they may just be a tiny bit more reliable, steam is king. It never was king. It is king. And though not as perfect as diesels, as they go one thing more powerful than all the diesels ever produced. And that one thing that they have is a beating heart and a pulse of gold-like voice like no other. They were living, breathing hearts of steel and iron and music bands on wheels that move the hearts of many still to this day. And that's why Midnight is a diamond worth preserving, which she was. April 16th, 1959, the 4460 would officially be donated, ending steam on the Southern Pacific, but in a kind of wholesome way. I mean, the Southern Pacific could have scrapped it, but they didn't, because that's not how they do it. So again, kudos to Southern Pacific. As stated, April 16th, 1959, she would be donated to the National Museum of Transportation in St. Louis, Missouri. She has sat there ever since, whilst Cousin 4449 is in the daylight of steam preservation. And she sits with the static future. You guys hear that? Anyone? Fire up 4460, you cowards! Now! Sorry about that. I do not know what happened there. Anyways, she was probably one of the best locomotives of this series. As you know, how and why 4460 is who she is. The Forgotten Daylight, aka Midnight. You know it's bad when you're a locomotive and want it to be so badly steamed up, your nickname is the Forgotten Daylight. But yeah, that's the story on the Midnight. And I hope to see you in the next video. See ya!